Not much. Is it working?
It's working, man.
All right, perfect. You can't hear yourself through my phone, can you?
No, huh?
All right, cool. Just checking.
I don't know why. Sometimes it's like that with the speakerphone. It's very rare. Most of the time, it's actually pretty decent. As long as somebody, if they're on their phone like that, without earbuds, as long as they're in a quiet room or a quiet space, because if they're outside or not outside, but if they're in a room where there's a background noise,
Yeah.
it'll and they're and if they're in the middle of talking, it'll cut out because noise cancellation and shit. So this fucking chair, bro.
Playing what?
Um,
Pass over, right?
huh?
They got an airplane passing over.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead, man. Take your time. We'll. I can't get this fucking chair up. There we go. All right.
All right. Good.
Yeah, man. I'll wait for you to get in.
All right. I'm gonna just close this. I'm on this podcast right now. All right, we're done.
Hell yeah.
Stuff a lot. Got all my stuff out so I can flex it.
Oh, good. Yeah, dude. Good.
Unfortunately,
Well.
my new build didn't get here. It's out for delivery, but
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, man. That's I know. Whenever I'm waiting on something, it's at our place, like UPS or Amazon stuff. It'll usually. It used to be here like around between 6 and 7 at night,
yeah,
and then lately it's been like all over the fucking place. Like I had two deliveries today, two separate deliveries, and then uh and then sometimes it's like fucking 9 o'clock at night. It's
yeah,
weird as shit.
yeah. Like
So,
so, I actually live like right next to our UPS center. You know what I mean?
mm,
So it's usually here like by noon. So I hauled ass at work today to get done to get here and back around over. And I ordered a dye mask yesterday from Mere Tactical. I'm not quite sure where they're located, but it's a few states away.
gotcha.
It got here first.
Oh shit.
Yeah, before in the package that. So I bought a gun from a buddy, and he lives in Orlando, which is like probably 2-3 hours from me. But I didn't feel like driving there. You know what I mean? So I was like, well,
Right.
just still waiting.
Hell yeah, man. So you are so introduce yourself a minute. What's your call sign and all that shit and what does it mean?
So my call sign is Frosty. It's kind of so I'm associated with a team called Rebel Scum. They're more of a milsim based team. But when I first got back into airsoft like 3 years ago, I got a basic like $400 gun and went out there, and they were the first people to talk to me and like bring me in. So I've just been. I'm not on their team. Well, I guess I am, but I'm more associated with them than being on their team. But I'm
Gotcha.
I'm the captain of DTP, which is Disturbing the Peace. So
Hell yeah.
been on a few speed QB teams, and I had another one called TFM, which was the Florida Mafia, but we had some issues with our old captain, and things kind of went downhill fast.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever there's any kind of animosity in the group, it can tank fast
Oh,
because that shit spreads like cancer, bro. Big time.
yep. Like we tried to stay together after whatever happened, but the seed was sown. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. No, that's all it takes.
yep,
Yeah, that's we feed, humans feed off each other. So if there's and I talked about this recently with somebody where if anyone's ever been to like a big either a rock concert or a football game or any kind of game where you're surrounded by all these people in close proximity and the national anthem comes on and you like everyone is kind of focused on that and the same kind of vibe going, like it feels really good, like it almost chokes you up a little, like you get you get
yep,
tingles and um but the same is true with the opposite with negative shit on a team in a close proximity. You got fucking they're giving out those fucking hateful vibes,
oh yes,
and bro, it just spreads. I'm gonna tell you, 4 years in the Marine Corps I spent, and the military, especially the Corps, has that shit. They understand how that works. So
I
if
love a
they're in,
Bravo. I feel you.
oh, exactly, yes. So they keep your ass busy, right? And not just busy, like busy work. Like we're gonna run your dicks in the dirt so that you can't be negative,
I think we did just for no reason.
bro. Like, okay, y'all want to fight? Fill some sandbags, bitches. Okay.
Put those sandbags over here. I never met this way.
Oh, dude. Yes. So yeah, what you were in the military?
Yes, Army. So I was infantry for a little while.
Yeah.
Not everything that happened because it's hard to talk about, but
Yeah.
Airsoft is a
When'd you
good.
get out?
2014.
Okay. Bro, you look young as fuck. You look
I,
really good.
hey,
Yeah, you look really good, man. For real.
yeah, I appreciate it. Honestly, it's because of the sport that, like, when I got
Keeps
out,
you young.
I kind of fucking, when I first got out, I stopped running because nobody was there to make me run every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just started getting a little bit heftier, and then I got back into this. And when I was doing like the milsim side for a while, I was still pretty hefty, and then I found, we had some speed softers come out to the field, and for a while I hated them, and then I was like, well, if you can't beat them, join them, and then now it's just a way of life for me. I love the competitive aspect of it.
You know what I think's cool, man? And I didn't know this about your background until just now, is that you've played both sides. You played Milsim, like you started out kind of like that, and then you were in the military, so you know all the tactics, and you know camos and fucking gear and running and gunning with that shit, and then you go to Speedsoft and you really that's like what you prefer. And I think there's this they're always people are always trying to kind of like make that divide.
Go in your room.
Is that one of your kids?
Yeah, it's my son, man.
Oh shit, okay.
He just don't listen to save his life.
Oh, how old is he?
5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
5 is awesome, man.
about to be 6, and he's boy.
If he makes it that far. We used to
Yeah,
joke with our kids, like, yeah, keep on going. You ain't making it until 6, okay? Uh,
I tell
yeah.
him. Oh,
Yeah, so that's they're always trying to make that divide, like the Speedy Boys and then the Mill Sims and I understand there's a huge difference.
ever since I got into the competitive, like I'm really big in competitive stuff. That's where
Hmm.
I mean. So once I've switched over to the speed soft, it's more for the I don't really play open play anymore. I get in. We get practice time, so we practice for about 5 hours, and then that's usually pretty good for me. I'm ready to go home. You know what I mean? I'm only focused on getting better and ready for the next season. I'm not, but we still participate in some Milsim events, just not as many as I used to.
Yeah, so you guys practice for 5 hours. That's a damn long practice for airsofters.
Oh yeah, man. You have to. You see some of these teams, and they're just fucking. Some of them are just ungodly. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And we're just starting out, so it's like we need to put in. It's like I tell my guys, I know you're tired now, but you're gonna appreciate it if we come out on top and we're standing on the podium. So just fucking focus on it. You know what I mean?
Well, the one thing I heard too recently is as I've been talking with a lot of the speed softers is the NSL tournaments they're way different for a lot of the guys in the U.S. A lot of the
Oh,
teams that played Speedsoft, they are like with those rules with the continuous like what is it 12 minutes or something like
15,
nonstop. What is it?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like so like some of my guys aren't. I'm ex-military, so sometimes I get a little knife handy on them. You know what I mean? Like it. But I stress conditioning. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just like football. You focus on the conditioning. Come fourth quarter, when everybody else is gassed, you're still ready to go.
Yep.
Guys, got to realize this is a speed QB. We're not playing 3-minute rounds anymore. You know what I mean? It's way different.
Uh-huh. Now, do you want your team to work like go to these or compete in the NSL tournaments?
Oh, absolutely. So I actually have two of my guys leaving for Indiana tomorrow. They're going to be playing with a team called Bloodline, which I helped put together for that event up in Indiana because I kind of get all my guys up there. I was supposed to be going up there, but I had a family issue come up, and family's first for me, so
Yeah.
can't make that one. We're hoping to be in the Tampa, and we're going to participate pretty much in any event we can get into. So we have the NSL, and then you have the CSL League, and then I think Speed QB is going to be putting on a couple events this year. So hopefully we can get into all of those. There's much to
Okay.
do.
You want to do a bunch of them to get the practice in. Is this the first season you guys are a full team?
So this will be our first season with. So we played half of last season under a team called TFM, like I told you, and then things kind of fell apart. And then we played the second regionals for Speed QB last year, also under TFM because I was trying to hold it together when I lost a bunch of the people. You know, I brought some new guys in, some older people that I had been friends with. It just didn't work, so we made DTP right before the champion. I think like 2 weeks or a week before the championships, and we practiced. I think once together as a full team, and managed it. I think we came in eighth or ninth place. But our goal was, as a brand new team, top 10, which we secured, and then taking a round off of every team, which we managed to do. So, for being a week together for a week, it was something. But now I've got a solid squad that I've managed to put together. We're putting in consistent practices. So next season, I don't want to sound cocky, but hopefully next season will be a force to be reckoned with instead of just a stepping stone team for another team. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to be the team that they bring in to bump up another team. I want, you know what I mean? It's not
Like the practice dummies in football.
exactly.
Yeah, the red shirts, the practice squad. You
That.
know.
I wonder if this package is here yet.
Yeah, go check, man.
Oh, I keep checking and hoping, but
That's cool. Hell yeah, man.
I do have one build I can show you.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
This is my chest rig.
Really light. Okay.
Yeah. I
Streamline.
I have a Speed QB belt, but switching back from I used to play up front, which the belt comes in handy, but now I'm an anchor again for this season, so I don't really need a belt, and I like to show off that patch.
It looks awesome.
This is this is just a bit. How do I fucking flip the camera around?
Look at you. Why don't you figure out some technology, bro?
So this is just a basic backpack, but there's our patch.
Nice.
Glows in the dark, and then this is
Oh,
that team I was telling you about,
okay.
Rebels patch. This
Yeah,
is
so
a
your patch, the first one you showed me, your patch,
yeah,
your current one, that
yeah.
iron sharpens iron. You have that on your Instagram, right? Isn't it like Latin or something?
That's actually Old Norse.
Oh, Norse. Nice.
Old, yeah, I'm really big into like the Viking culture and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's fucking cool.
So this is a custom case my co-captain built me. Yeah.
Nice.
And we can change the configurations and stuff inside of it.
There we go.
That's my belt, obviously.
Ah, okay.
And this is my baby.
Yeah, what is it?
A bit longer. I'm contemplating selling it just because I buy and sell guns like crazy because I'm really big into trying new shit and then sending it on its way.
It looks cool as shit. What is it? KWA what?
This is the KWA Type S Eve 4,
Okay.
the Speed QB edition.
Yeah.
A speed trigger in it, and then I put a brushless warhead motor in there.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Battery in there still. No.
Dude, your the end where the flash hider kind of is. You know what it looked like when you first pulled it out? I thought it was a fucking Reaper round from a tag in.
No. No, just the tracer. But yeah, this honestly, this is my favorite gun. I'm really struggling with getting rid of it, but
Why are you getting rid of it again?
so I bought a new. I have a really bad issue with buying new stuff. It's just an addiction for me at this shit. It's just an
Yeah.
addiction at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm always wanting the next new thing. So I sold this one so I could get my new build that's coming. Like
Right.
I bought it because I know this one will sell if I want it sold really fast. It's already sold technically, but I haven't 100% committed to the sell.
Now, do you go on when you do these sells? Do you go to Hop Up? Where do you sell it on?
So
Or just
I
friends you know?
have done a few transactions through Hop Up that have been good, but then I had a couple that I kind of
Yeah,
wound up getting burnt on.
I've heard of that.
So I stopped doing that. I just post my guns, on
On
Instagram,
Insta?
my story, and I'll just throw the price up there. Like I had a loco build, which is a Euro AEG, pretty much.
Hmm.
I posted that and it sold in like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And then
Jesus.
this one here, I posted it. I go to bed early because I get up early as shit for work.
Yeah, what kind of work do you do?
I install garage doors, but so I get up at 2 a.m. even on Saturday. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. That's just when I wake up. I enjoy the quiet time.
Damn, bro.
So
I mean, I've heard of people getting up early. Like they say, all it's one of these rules of success. Like get up early, have your, workout time or exercise and motivation, like meditation and shit. And all that kind of quiet time for your, like that time is for yourself. But these guys are talking like, I know Jocko Willing gets up at, he works out at 4. Some people get up at 5 to work out and 6 or whatever if they have to be at work at like 8 or 9. You're talking like 2 a.m., bro. When the fuck? Where did that come from?
when I was in the military, it actually started in basic. I would always pull the 2 a.m. fire guard shift. So, and then when I was in basic, I was a hustler. You know what I mean? I had peanut butter packs on deck for sale, cough drops, everything. But my biggest money maker, I walked away with $5,000 just from this one in cash from basic, was taking people's fire guard shift.
Holy shit.
Charged $100 a shift, and I would pick up like 4 shifts a night. So I was making like $400 a day in basic. 4 months of basic, bro. I was fucking banking it.
Oh my god.
Top of like peanut butter and cough, because we were allowed to have cough drops. So I just had my people sending massive bags of like the real sweet cough drop. I was selling like 5 for $1. It was crazy. I think I left basic
What?
10,000 plus bucks in cash.
Holy shit. Dude. You are fucking a hustler, man. I love it.
Gotta be, man. I have expensive taste, so I gotta make money.
I mean, that is fucking innovative, man. That is cool as shit. Yeah.
And then like I figured out how to unlock our laundry, because our laundry room was in our bay. You know what I mean? So, but they had a door that leads behind the washers and dryers. So they can fix it, whatever. I managed to pick the lock so we could get people in on the weekends to sleep, and we would just sleep in fucking shifts.
Oh my god.
Because on Sunday we don't, but you're not allowed to sleep, so you're just standing around all damn day in the bay, just fucking thumb up.
Right.
We made a chessboard one time out of like soap and shit, and our drill sergeant framed it because he was so impressed by it.
Holy shit, that's awesome, man. Hell yeah. Okay, where'd you go to? Where were you stationed at? Or where'd you go to
So
basic or whatever?
I went
Leonard?
to at Fort Benning.
Benning. Okay, yeah.
I was right. I was right on top of Sand Hill. So when you're infantry in the Army, when you graduate infantry training, you go to a place called Honor Hill. My barracks window was directly across from Honor Hill, so I got to wake up every morning and see that shit. So it was motivation as fuck.
Damn.
Because we had
That-
also like we had a few people like if you didn't pass your PT test or whatever, they didn't drop you, but you'd have to take a redeemable one like right before graduation. So you would go through the final FTX for a week out in the field, do well for us it was like 15-mile march back from FTX, even though it was supposed to be 12.
Right.
Then you go right to Honor Hill from the FTX on the end of that ruck march, and all the people who didn't pass their PT test and shit just had to stand outside. They did their test and passed and got to graduate, but they didn't get to go through the ceremony and shit that like every other infantryman has ever been like done. So I was like,
Oh
this
wow.
sucks to suck.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's supposed to be some the agony of defeat. Like that's why it's built into these competitions that we set up is so you lose, so you feel bad. That's a real life thing, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. I felt bad for him, but at the same time, like when you get to cross through those gates, you stop giving a fuck about anything until you get your cross rifle.
I had a hard time feeling bad for people that didn't have a legitimate excuse as to why they couldn't make something, right?
But when you go to basic in the Army, I don't know if it's the same with the Marine Corps, but you spend about a week in reception.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
God, that was the hardest part for me was just the standing around doing nothing.
Bro.
So first day going downrange to fucking actual basic, getting yelled at and shit. I'm expecting a real. I was disappointed by the shark attack for one. It wasn't hard. None of base like saying it now, it wasn't hard, but at the time it may have been.
Sure.
But it felt kind of like our shark attack. All they made us do so we're at the
What is a
top.
shark? I've never heard of that. What is that?
So you know how when you go in the Marine Corps and they're fucking yelling at you when you get off the bus and shit.
Yeah, get on the yellow footsteps and all that.
Same shit, except they're taking our stuff and throwing it all over the place, and then you have to go
Right.
fucking get all your shit organized.
Okay.
But for us, all they had us do was like hold our bags over our head, run up to the company area, and then just stand there with our bags over our head. So we're standing there, it's like 20 minutes in, and like everybody thought for some reason they were going to make us hold our laundry bags over our heads, so they put all their heavy shit in their duffel bag. Well, I heard differently, so I put all my light shit in my duffel bag and like all my boots and all that in the fucking laundry bag. So I'm holding like what I'll hold this shit up all day if I have to. The kid next to me sets his shit down on the ground and
Oh.
sits on it.
Oh.
Fucking drill sergeant just like right on,
Oh yeah.
and he starts screaming at me because why am I not stopping him from doing this? And I'm like, I don't know how he got. It's cross-eyed as all can be. I don't know what his recruiter did to get him in.
Oh my god.
He refused to train from day one. He was there 2 months after we graduated.
I don't understand these people that sign up. Bro, you get like multiple chances. All right, so let's say you're going like okay, I got this idea, I want to go in the military. Yep, I've been playing Call of Duty. I could do this fucking shit, okay? And then and then you go to the recruiter and so you talk. I mean, it's a fairly long process. You don't it's not like in Vietnam where they draft you and then you show up and the next day you're in boot camp, okay? This
Exactly.
is like they've got to do all kind of you got to fill out all this fucking paperwork. You got to do medical tests. You got to go to MEPS. You got to do all this fucking shit. You got to swear in twice, right? Like the second time is the actual time that you
Exactly.
go. It's like you get all these chances, and then we still have. I had the same thing. Still had that. We had these twin brothers in boot camp that from day one. I'm like, why the fuck did you sign up if you didn't want to be here, bro?
Exactly. Like I knew it was gonna be. So when I was in basic, like everybody was just like hanging on every day, hoping we got mail. I didn't write a single letter.
I didn't. I hardly did. Yeah.
Hey, when they gave us our phones, to call home, I just went in the bathroom and fucking did my business. If you catch my drift, because
Yes.
I didn't want to fucking distract myself with family, and then now that's all I'm thinking about. The amount of people I see falling apart because they didn't get a letter or some shit. I'm
Oh
like, bro,
God.
don't fucking worry about it. I was like, just fucking, you're here, have fun. This shit's fun. We
Yeah.
cleaning the bay. We're sitting there riding the goddamn floor polisher like it's a goddamn bull. Like,
Yeah.
fun. Enjoy the time you're doing here. When you get out, you'll be able to contact your family. It's not the end of the world.
Right. Yeah. No shit.
I think the worst shit I saw though was so I don't know if it is for the Marine Corps, but for the Army, if you go infantry, you do your 9 weeks of basic, and then we got a 3 day pass, and then we had 2 more months of infantry training.
Mm.
So it's like almost 4 months straight that you're there.
Wow. No. Okay. So we do what we did. I don't know how they do it now. I went in '89, so that's a long fucking time ago. Um, so Paris Island, we went uh, 13 weeks. for boot camp, and then we go home. We graduate, and then we go home. We get leave
What?
for it's supposed to be 7 days or something like that. I can't remember honestly. It's supposed to be like somewhere around 5 to 7 days or something. But if you sign up for recruiter's assistance, then you can work with your recruiter, and it's like you get an extra week or some shit.
Oh,
So most of us did that, and then especially if you know your recruiter or whatever kind of thing. So we do that to get extra time on leave because you still have to work, but you work like a 9 to 5 with the recruiter. So you're making phone calls all day. Well, then you leave that and you go to what we MCT, Marine Combat Training. So you go 30 days in the woods for all of our tactical and all
yeah.
that kind of training, and then from there you don't get leave. After the 30 days, you go from there right to your school, and then your school. If you are stationed in the States, you go from your schooling right to your duty station. If you're going overseas for a year, then you get leave and then go overseas. So I went to Japan, so I got 10 days after boot camp, then MCT school, and then 30 days I got leave for 30 days, and then I had to go to Japan for a year. So
Fuck that. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
My cousin actually, I seen him a couple of times when I was there because we joined up around the same time. But he was a pogue. He was.
Pencil pusher, yeah.
I think the funniest thing I've ever seen. So we were coming out of the chow hall, right? And for infantry in the army, we get to carry M4s everywhere.
Gotcha.
Everybody else is carrying M16s. The big old long motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what I used. What's wrong with that, man? Come on.
My cousin next to him, and the rifle was taller than he is. I was dying laughing when I seen it. Like I ran over there, like and risked talking to him for a minute. But when he graduated, so they graduate and they don't even get like 5 minutes to talk to their parents. As soon as you graduate, the drill sergeants are rushing them on the bus to send them out to their fucking fuck, what's it called?
Is it AIT? You guys call
Yeah.
AIT? Okay.
And then when we graduated, because ours was obviously longer because we were infantry.
Right.
I think we got like 2 minutes, and then it was on the bus and fucking go.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they don't, and you right to your fucking duty station.
Oh, that's wild. Okay. Yeah, it's a little different. I don't know how it is now, but that's how we did it. Yeah. And I was really glad that we got this time when I graduated. I was really glad we had that time to, with our family or whatever, because my dad and I were not getting along. When I was a teenager, I got kicked out of my house. I was 17. I came back just in time to go to boot camp and stuff and graduate high school and go to boot camp.
Yeah.
And, but we were still kind of at odds, like a lot before I went to boot camp. Well, they came to my graduation and, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. They drove down here to South Carolina where I live now, to Paris Island for my graduate. My dad was in the Navy, so he was so proud. Like all the shit that we had gone through when I was a teenager,
Door.
gone. Yeah, gone, bro. Like I have a picture of me and my dad in front of the at Paris Island on the parade deck where we graduate, in front of the Iwo Jima statue. With the guys holding up the flag at Iwo Jima. So it is. It's one of the best things, but. I was really glad to have that time because my dad and I were able to kind of reconcile, which I really needed, at the time. But it felt good. It felt good.
Yeah.
But man, coming out of boot camp, bro, when you graduate, doesn't that feel good as fuck?
But I don't know if graduating. Well, no, graduating was the best feeling. But the first meal that I had outside of basic training was. I think it was something simple. I think we went to like IHOP or something. But I'll tell you what, best goddamn food.
For real.
It did like so right the day before, or was it the morning? I think it was the morning we graduated. We woke up extra fucking early. We went on like I think it was like a 6 mile, motivation run, whatever it was. Came back, showered, got in our fucking dress blues, ready to get going. You know what I mean? And then went to breakfast, and they fucking cooked steaks for us for our warrior breakfast.
Shit.
Oh, they were fucking perfect steaks too. So that shit.
Damn. Yeah, there's nothing, and that's the thing,
Finally
man.
eat cake.
What's that?
Then we were finally allowed to have a piece of cake.
No shit, dude. We I tell you what, that experience, guys that go through that, women that go through that, there is there's nothing that compares to it in our in our society. This is the rite of passage that is, hey, you want to prove yourself? You've got to do this and you'll make it and you feel awesome.
Is that less than 1%?
Yeah, yeah. Our military, the United States military is not. We don't have like a fucking billion, people in it. Like we don't. It's a very small percentage of the total population of the United States that's actually military, and it is. It's a small number, but they've definitely got the training down. They know how to train.
World War chants for a reason.
Right? Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's something they can never take away from you. That's the thing. That's one of the things I probably the best thing life lesson that I learned going into that and going through that is there's certain things that you learn. It's that self confidence. A lot of people that don't go through that or not around that kind of person or whatever growing up. When we are around these people, they feel like we are arrogant. And we're not. We're just confident, and they're not used to it. We're like,
It's like, so people tell me all the time, like I come off not so much arrogant, but I guess just cocky. But I'm just like,
yeah,
it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I've gone through some shit overseas that like now that I'm back here, I feel like, well, if that couldn't fucking take me out, I'm not worried about like.
it makes you way more comfortable with yourself. It makes you way more comfortable with life. Like,
Exactly.
and I'm gonna tell you what, bro. When you go through that, it is something changes. Now, obviously, not everyone's the same. I know it does break some people, but for me and what it sounds like from you, like I'm not afraid of death anymore. And I know that sounds really macho to say. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying I am not. I'm afraid of pain. I don't want pain. I don't want to be tortured. I don't want to fucking, you know, break my fucking arms and like I'm
Exactly.
afraid to fall off of, a high place. I'm normal. I'm a normal human. But I really, honestly, when I think about death, I am 100% not afraid. I really am not afraid. It's like going to sleep.
There's occasions for me like I've come close to death a couple of times. You know, like some instances where the shit flies past your head and you're like, wow, another inch over and
Yep.
that was it. You know what I mean? And then I I accept the fact that someday we're all gonna die. You know, it is what it is. I think the part I struggle with most is like I just hope it's not just that's it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
then what the fuck is the point of everything that we're doing? You know what I mean? If you just once you're dead, that's it. But
I
I'm really big in like space and shit. So like I just see like
yeah.
the vastness of the universe. You know what I mean? And I feel like life probably continues on, but not in the way that we perceive it. You know, not what we think we need. It probably isn't what we need. I feel like this is just a staging ground for something better.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And that's I feel like when we my wife is so afraid of dying. It's and whenever we talk about it, like there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people that are just because of the unknown, like they're so afraid of the unknown. And I feel like, bro, like we go to sleep every night. Do you remember when you fell asleep? Nope. Do you remember what happened while you were sleeping? Nope. Like it's peaceful
The
darkness. Like that's it.
to people is so like I tell people this like the universe, or if you believe science, is about what 14 billion years old. I was dead for 13 billion years, and now I've got 100 years, or give or take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roughly 100 years to fucking make an imprint. in
Yeah.
this universe. And who knows? I go back to being dead for another 13 billion years, and then it recycles. You don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's definitely, well, when I learned, this is back in probably the early 2000s or late 90s, when I learned about the like energy, right? Like when you get down to the molecular level, right? Like the more you zoom in on cells and whatever, there's that energy that just, it can't be destroyed. It never goes away. So where does that go? What does it do? Right? Because we are made up of all this stuff. So when this stops, right, and this stops, for me and you as a conscious being, we stop, animated, whatever. But everything that makes up this whole thing is still going, like on a real tiny level. All that shit is still going. Where does it go? So I think that's where the people are like, oh, I don't know. Is it
My favorite
reincarnation?
thing to think about is like, so I used to believe in God. I can't say necessarily I don't believe in God, but at the same time, it's hard when you look at the vastness, everything that's before you. It's kind of hard to put your faith in a book, you know. But
Yeah.
my
Now, did you
favorite,
grow up? Did you grow up like Catholic or Protestant or
not
being?
so. I grew up in the foster care system,
Mm,
so I kind of grew up fast. You know what I mean?
right. Sure.
I didn't really have time for religion, so to speak. But
Gotcha.
I like to think that like every time period, so like ancient Egypt, you know, medieval times, whatever it is, every time period, present, future, it's all happening at once. And when you pass away in one, you get to go to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I would like to think that any of those nice
There's
options.
a way to find out, and I'm not in a.
I'm going to tell you what changed for me, and I say the same thing that you say. So I grew up Catholic, and I was all in, okay, on believing, right, growing up,
Yeah.
and even after I got out of the military, um, like soon after, I still struggle with it. I think that honestly, I think there were two things that mentally fucked me up for so long until I got over them. One was that the believing in God thing, and it wasn't just the belief in God. It was struggling with trying to figure out what I was seeing in real life, especially in the military, and then like in front of me, in my, what I saw happening, what people could do to other people, and all this, that kind of thing. And then what I learned about God and the Bible, what the Bible said, this, right? And I really struggled with that. Once I let go of, and it wasn't an easy process, it wasn't a quick process, but once I let go of this idea that the whole world is, or that the Bible is 100% true, right? Once I let that go and I was open to other options, like, okay, maybe this isn't what it really is. Okay, once I stopped believing in the God of the Bible kind of thing, and just, I do believe there's something, that a creator type of thing or whatever, but that started some process. But as far once I let go of that, it was liberating. And the second thing was self pity. I struggled with self pity for so long, and I think that when I felt bad about something, and it's even like survivor's guilt kind of thing, all of those kind of things. That is, it boils down when you really break it down to the core. Where's this coming from? It's self pity, and when you let that go and you stop feeling sorry for yourself, holy shit, bro. I was so liberated. I could talk about things. I still had feelings. I still felt things when I talked about certain subjects, but I was liberated. I was free, and I was able to grow more.
Yep. Yep. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, what was it? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Was about the growing up with religion or foster care or the military and
Oh, yeah. So,
about God.
you know, so I want to say around high school, I started getting into religion because I moved in with a foster family who was, kind of religious, but they knew Tim Tebow personally. So I went to the Philippines on a missions trip with him, and his flew on his plane and shit. All did all,
What?
and then when I finally went in the military, that's what started my. When you start seeing shit, and you're like, you know, maybe God's not so fucking great when you see some of the things we see over there,
Mm.
and then I started doing more research into the Bible and stuff, and there's 40 plus books taken out of the Bible. So what's all that information that they're hiding? And now we have this new version, and that's what it. As soon as I started seeing all that stuff, I was like, something's a little off. I'm not. I don't know if it's good, but I'm a naturally suspicious person. So I
Oh,
like to,
so am I.
I
Yeah,
like evidence. I like to see what the fuck.
that's right.
So as soon as I started
Somebody
looking,
says something, I'm like, why?
uh
Why? Why? Why?
huh.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, so let's get into your what you got going on with your team. You've got for anyone watching and listening, the podcast actually just came out today. I talked with Hut. Well, I call him Huddy. That's what's on his Instagram. I think it's a good name for him. Now, the one he said on the podcast towards the end was one of the nicknames you guys are kind of bouncing around is it Break or something like that?
No, I've always called him. So for me, I've always called him Hudson, just because that's what.
Right.
But I think Huddy would be a better one for him. So he came out to tryouts, and unfortunately, his ARP9 I think was broken or something was wrong with it. So he was using some. To me, I call it a Walmart pistol because that's kind of what it looked like. You know what I
Oh
mean?
shit. Okay.
But our coach kind of liked what he was seeing, but couldn't really judge him 100% because you can't. I'm
Right.
not somebody playing with a Walmart pistol unless they're going off crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, so I told him we're gonna put you as a prospect for now, so you can start learning what you need to learn, getting into it, and then we'll go from there. And I love him to death, but he hasn't been to a practice yet since tryouts.
Huddy,
And
we're
then he
calling you out, bro.
calling him out. I love him to death, but I'm very big on consistency, and I may come off as a dick when I say this, but I don't take too many excuses. You know what I mean? I
No,
don't.
you have to. You
I have,
have to be that. If you want a good team, you've got to have standards, and everyone's got to follow that shit.
I have one day a week that I one day a week is what I tell them. That's all I ask
Right.
them. If you can't do it, don't expect to start, and don't expect to keep playing for me long. Because I've done it for a long time. I had a player from TFM. I carried him over into DTP for a while, but he would every practice, all week. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. And then here's Saturday, not a fucking peep from him.
No,
Until
dude.
oh, my grandma needed this, or and then I think it was right before championships, I finally just lost my cool on him, and I was, you've always got an excuse, so you know what,
Yep.
wipe my hands of you. I'm trying to build a legacy that I can leave behind for the next generation of people that take up DTP and keep on going with this sport because it's only growing. It's only going to go here. So I'm very big on putting in the work.
You should be. Talk and there's an old saying, talk is cheap. And that is 100%. I follow people's actions, not their words.
Yep.
So it is 100%. If you back up, I don't care what somebody says. I care what they do. And that is, and there's a lot of people like us that, I think there's certain personality types that that will kind of think that way, or maybe it comes a little more natural to think that way because we're critical thinkers. We are, well, why is this? We're a little skeptical. It's okay to be skeptical. It doesn't mean we have to be negative. Now, I can be negative as fuck. Okay. I can really get tunnel vision on some negative shit. And that's kind of my demon, one of my demons I really have to work on. one of my struggles. That is because it's still uh, I have to really focus on that,
Yep.
because bro, once one thing, I'm like, I really have an easy time noticing the negative differences with certain things. I could pick out, certain things, but it when you have like what you're doing, when you have a team, you've got to have standards. You got to hold people accountable. You hold yourself accountable. It just you can't be you can't do it otherwise. And then you'll eventually get the guys that will be kind of like minded and show up on time, ready to go, as gung ho as you are about what you're,
See, that's
what
what I'm
you're
excited about now. Is like I feel like now I finally have that in my. So I have three prospects, and two of them are in it, ready. They haven't missed a practice yet.
right.
Hudson will. He's gonna get there. I know he will. He's just got to pull his head out of remove head. But I have a solid starting lineup who they don't miss. I'm like, I told my guys like if you're gonna miss a practice, give me a 3 day notice. I was like once I might give you once with like that morning I can't make it
Right.
once,
Yeah,
but
sure.
it can't become a habit because that's a bad habit and bad habits break down teams.
Well, maybe like Huddy, his he's young, so that's not an excuse, as far as the commitment or whatever. But because I feel like a lot of, and I say that only because I feel like too many parents, like too many adults, treat young our younger generation like babies, and they're not. Like a 13-year-old male or female should be held accountable for their actions. And I'm not saying be mean or whatever, but you could, when you're working with guys like that, like Huddy, who maybe wants to do, certain things are out of his control. Obviously, he can't drive there on his own. Um, so, have you ever thought about, or maybe you have already, talked to the parents or talked to his dad or
Well,
something, or
I'm not going to get too much into his personal life because I don't know how much he shared with you. I
yeah,
know he have a couple legitimate, which is why I'm not overly irritated with him because I understand what he's got going on. But I
right,
do know Dad is very supportive of him being in the
yeah, he
competitive.
said that.
He brings them to every like all last season, every event. His dad was there. The
That's
team.
pretty amazing. He said it was like 2 hour drive,
Yeah,
and
yep. So
that's yeah.
he's in Orlando. So from Orlando, about an hour and a half. But with traffic, hard traffic can get pretty bad real fast.
I'm sure.
So a 30-minute drive can become an hour and a half drive just like that.
Is that something that you guys struggle with as you're like at a field, you're trying to build a team? Is that a common issue you guys have where you find that the people that show up there, I mean, because when you build a team, it's probably, I'm guessing that you start building a team from the people that you see at the field, right?
Yes.
So
So we built most of my team. So myself, my co-captain, and our coach, we were all part of TFM. And my coach, Murder Hornet, I don't know if you've met him yet or not, but
uh-uh.
he actually, when he moved down to Florida, he made a post in a Airsoft, group on Facebook that typically people would reply to, pretty fast. And he was like, "Hey, who's going to be out at this field?
Gotcha.
So I have someone to play with." And nobody replied to him. So I messaged him, and we just clicked. So we've been together for. I think we've been playing together for almost 3 or 4 years now.
Mm.
And then the other people I've met, they just click and fit in. You know what I mean? And it works. And I I'm really big on it not just being a team. I'm also big on like it's a team, yeah, but it's also a family. So like we do cookouts together, and we get together outside of airsoft because if I'm constantly chewing airsoft down their throat, eventually they're gonna get tired of it. So I try to break it up with something fun. When it's not tournament season, we alternate one weekend practice, then the next weekend we go to our outdoor field and just fuck off, and then the next weekend we practice. We go fuck
Yeah,
off. But tournament season, every weekend we got practice.
that's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot, and I do a. So I install garage doors, and I'm pretty fast. So I put in about 4 doors a day. I get home usually by noon. I'm home, which still leaves me with a lot to do. But man, I'm getting old because we're practicing work, and I come home and I
Bro.
just crash, man.
Oh, you're exhausted. I mean, if you get up at 2 a.m., dude. I
Uh,
mean, think about it. Think about it. You're up at 2 p.m. You're up 12 hours. At 6 p.m., what is that? 16 hours. Like, bro, you're ready to crash. If, like you said, when we talked about setting this up today, um, you were like, yeah, I can, because I get home. I honestly today I got home later. Of course, this is the earliest podcast I've done, and normally I'm home by 4:30. And today we got the cabinets in, and so we're unloading them and we unbox them and we start checking them because we want to make sure they're the right ones. Because cabinets, when you order them, some of them are very. You don't know that you got the wrong one until you unbox this shit. Okay, because it might be a 30 that you wanted, but you got a 32. You can't tell when it's in the box because it's all that packaging shit around there. So you unbox it. We go to line everything up, and we're looking at the paper and we're like, what the fuck? Number one, we're missing one. Number two, they gave us 3 wrong sizes that were like 2 inches off. So it doesn't sound like a lot. Like, oh, just make it work. You can't, bro. Like, you only have so much space in a kitchen.
my father-in-law actually, like, he works for a company. I think it's called Conestoga, but they do cabinets, and he's a salesperson.
Gotcha.
So like, all I ever hear about is fucking cabinets.
So
And
you know.
he was doing the cabinets in his house, and even with him working, with cabinets every day and shit. Like, I think 3 times they sent him the wrong sizes,
Yeah.
and he had to unbox all of them, found out they're the wrong size, repackage it. Fuck that, man.
Oh, dude. I'm like, isn't there a easier way? What the fuck are we doing here? What? But it's, there's every house is different. So like the buildings we're working in now, they're like they were built in the 40s. Okay. So old concrete brick buildings, and it's whatever. But anyway, I was like, this is the first time I've got a podcast at 5:30. Normally they're like 7, 8, 9 o'clock. I got another one tonight at midnight actually, because I'm talking to some guys in Cali, right in California. I'm on, we're on the East Coast, so they're 3 hours behind us. They're like, we can't get together until 9 p.m. Actually, you'll probably know since you play Speedsoft, KWA Tactical League. The guys that run that. That's who I'm talking with tonight at midnight. So
Howard,
anyway,
thought of being up at midnight just makes me shudder in my bones.
yeah. Well, I usually stay up till 2 a.m. So my normal schedule, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I come home from work, so I work Monday through Friday, and then doing our house stuff, whatever, and then I come home. I'll eat something. I'll take a shower, whatever. I'll get my shit together for a podcast. Get ready, and then I do podcasts. And if I don't have one right away, I will edit until I have one, and then and I make sure, because right now I'm releasing 5 podcasts a week,
Shit.
Monday through Friday, for the last 2 weeks before Christmas. I've been doing so. It's been a month. So anyway. It's a lot of people to talk to. And so I do that. And then I talk to some nights I have 2 and 3 podcasts in a night.
Okay.
And then I'll edit that podcast, get it ready to schedule and upload and all that shit. And then I'll have the next podcast, get it ready, whatever. And I'm editing until like 2 a.m. and making sure that everything, because I used to bro, I used to fuck up so many like uploads and stuff. I would upload the wrong thing because I would edit and I'm like, oh, as I'm watching it or going through it, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to cut this one thing out, whatever.
Yeah.
And so and it might be something like 10 seconds, but I can't. I just the OCD part of me is like, and I'm not really that OCD, but the that little thing I can't upload it like that, and so I'll go through it. My computer's kind of slow, so it takes like 35 minutes to save this video. Like fuck, bro. But I love it, man. I don't care. I don't really care about sleep too much. I don't really like sleep, to be honest. I don't like some of the dreams I have, and so I don't care. I just work until I pass out.
Plus, we the 7, the yawns are coming in.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you're fine, dude. Go ahead.
yeah. My I don't sleep like so. Like I go to bed at 8, but I have really bad PTSD. So like I wake up 3 4 times a night just drenched in sweat and have to like change out my sheets.
Yeah.
It's and my wife like sometimes has to sleep in the other room because she'll wake up and like the whole bed will be soaked in sweat. You know, some shit. But I don't like talking about it, so I just deal with it
Well, did you guys know each other before you were in the army, or did you meet after?
after.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, she's a real one. She's always stuck through there, but it is. I don't like to sleep either.
Yeah,
Probably.
I hear you, man. Now, do you feel like kind of on edge sometimes when like at home with your family and stuff, like you're always looking around, like this, like you're always on condition yellow?
I so the best way I can explain like how I feel almost all the time is this. It's just like a constant level of anxiety. Like
Yeah.
I'm always expecting something to happen. Like I I can't relax when I go to a restaurant. You know, I got to figure out where every exit is. I have to sit in
Bro.
with my back to the wall.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
like it drives my wife nuts because like I go in somewhere and I immediately start like I tell her like, "Ooh, there's a," or
Yep.
like
Yep.
drive. I'm like I when I drive like I scan 25, 50, 100, 150 meters continuously.
All the time.
You know, and she's just like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause bitch, IEDs. You know, you never know." I saw a bag in the road one time and like almost flipped my vehicle trying to fucking avoid it. And like,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure, dude. Bro, you need to listen to the one. These podcasts I put on all the podcast apps, Spotify, all the big ones. They're all over the place. So if you don't want to watch them, you just listen to them, whatever, sticking, as you're working or whatever. The
come on, yeah,
Listen to the one with Muddy, Muddy Reviews. He talks about the same thing. We were on that topic as well, and I've had a bunch of veterans on here and talking about that. But he was talking about. He said I never realized how bad I had PST or PTSD until I got this one. He's actually still in the Navy, so he's about to retire. So he he's like, I got this one. They gave me a shot. I can't remember. It's on the. He tells what it is on the podcast. I can't remember the name of it, but they gave him a shot of something, and he said it relaxed him to where he was not on that alert condition, yellow kind of thing, all the time. He said the first time he got the shot, he cried because all of this stuff just went away, bro. Like from his top down, just totally like a flood of just a weight off his shoulders, off his mind, just totally relaxed. And I was like, oh, it was like opium. And he's like, he goes, bro, it was so. I just cried because I thought, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel, where you're not looking over your shoulder, where you're not.
well,
And
I
I
want
was
what
telling,
that must be like because like so I don't take like when I first got back they tried to give me Xanax and all this stuff and like
right,
I don't like pills because I know me I know I have an addiction problem so I don't want to take
gotcha,
that. You know, so they recommended I try medical marijuana. I was like, okay, I'll try it, whatever.
yeah,
Dude, I smoke and like I assume I'm high, but I'm still just like fucking up there. You know what I mean? And like I smoke a lot too.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking do a damn thing to like.
See, it doesn't work for me either.
I'm
I
always
tried it as well.
ready to
I'm
go.
going to tell you right now. So for smoking, I would have to smoke enough to where I was passing out. Like I was literally passing out. Like and before I'd pass out, I'm talking. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Like I couldn't even finish a whole sentence. Weird words would come. Would come. And I'm not slurring, right? It would just. I couldn't finish the sentence because halfway through, I'd be on some other topic,
Yep.
and I'm going. I'm literally losing my mind like halfway through a sentence. And so for it to work for me, like it really wasn't my drug of choice. It was. It would just have to knock me out. But now I'm going to tell you this: dabs. So you know the shit that they scrape out of the screen, okay? I smoked that, and that fucking shit was awesome. Now it didn't help me. It didn't have a relaxing effect. It had the opposite. I was fucking amped up. I mean, it felt great. I was in a good mood. I forgot about everything, but I was ready to party. You know, so it was a way different effect.
So I feel so for me like. My buddy Marshall, who's my co-captain, so during our Speed QB championships, like right at the end of the event, you know, during the whole event, like I had to smoke continuously throughout the day to just stay as amped as I am, like tense as I am right now. Like, so I had it smoked all day because I was so focused on the championship. Like, I had a fucking really bad PTSD. It, like, snapped back to overseas. Like they said, like I was like training in on people, like all types of shit. And I was like, I don't remember none of that, but they fucking somebody, you know, somehow they got weed into my lungs, and like the second I hit it, like it was just like taking me from that high of an intensity, like you know, where I don't even know what's going on, to like boom, I was like right back to like not good, you know, I wasn't relaxed, but I was able to function again. So like,
Right.
I smoke just to function, which I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like being reliant on something.
See, that's how I am too. I hate that I have to be reliant on some outside thing like that to cope or to function. And right now, I'm on blood thinners because of my illness, and then I had this big, huge blood clot. I almost died with it, and then I swelled up, gained 100 pounds in like 3 months because of this blood clot. Dude, I got stretch marks that are on my stomach and my legs that are worse than a pregnant woman. I'm telling you, like they're because I blew up so fast. But I'm on these blood thinners and still. And it bugs the fuck out of me that I have to be on them. And I keep trying to take myself off every like 6 months or so. And then my legs start swelling up again. I'm like, fuck. And I'm drinking tons of water, and like, I don't smoke. I quit smoking because, the circulation thing or whatever. And
Yeah, I've tried
smoke.
one times, and but until the military, I used to dip all through high school and everything. I was
okay.
But the dip you can get overseas, unless you have it mailed to you, is shit.
Really?
So I just started smoking.
Is it mild or something? What is it?
No, it's strong as fuck for one. I mean,
okay.
Like I don't think they have nicotine regulations over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the taste is just like mud, shit, tobacco. So
Now, what did you grow up dipping? You grew up in Florida?
Yeah. So I started. My very first dip ever was a pinch of Copenhagen Fine Snuff.
Woo!
Which about 2 seconds in my mouth fucking went everywhere.
Bro, I turned green. I was 12 years old. My cousin grew up in Florida, and we were really close. He got me on. He was dipping Copenhagen at 12 and 13 years old. Because he started younger, and he gave me that. He's like, "Oh no, you got to try this." So I put it in. 10 minutes, I was fucking green, bro. Throwing up.
It was bad. I think the worst, experience I had with dipping was not even dip. It was Red Man Chew.
Oh, shit.
and
Yeah.
I threw in a fucking, it was baseball practice, and you're trying
Yeah.
to,
Right.
you want to be that guy. So I fucking
All the old pitchers, man.
I was like, boom, I threw in a fucking hog leg and a half in there, and that shit started juicing up, and then I just started swallowing it because you couldn't spit fast enough, and then like 5 seconds later, it was just, I mean, movie style spewing just
Oh
across the.
yeah. Yeah.
It, oh,
Projectile vomiting everywhere.
I didn't touch dip again. I think for like 2 months after that, I was like, not for me. I'll stick with my big league gum.
I did. I got sick on that Copenhagen, and then I was 12 or 13 when it happened. I I never tried actual dip after that. So I did. Do you remember when Skull came out? This is like, well, you're younger, but
When you say Skullberry, I'm running.
no. It was the. I think they were called Bandits. I don't know. They were little. It wasn't. Yeah, the pouches.
Yep, Skullberry.
So this is back in the 90s. I was working in this factory in Cleveland, Ohio, and my buddy was that I was smoking, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to quit smoking, whatever. I was on and off smoker since the military,
Yeah.
and bro, in the military, I smoked fucking Camel unfiltered, like no filters, and then I smoked Marlboro Reds, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit smoking, so I just quit it cold turkey, and then a few months later, there you go. I got on. He gave me this Skull. He's like, "Oh, check out these Skull Bandits, man. They're like little pouch things." I was like, "Oh, let me try one." I tried it. I don't know, a couple times. I never got back into dipping. Oh, there's your kitty.
He's the homie.
Do you have any other pets?
I had another cat, but I don't even like talking about it. I miss him. He got
That's
a
fine.
infection. I had him since he was a day old. I saved him from a meth head,
Oh shit.
and but he got a kidney infection, and like I started noticing, like he was just laying in one spot, and like he used to come to me whenever I call him, and he wasn't doing it, and then I came, and he was just like laying in the tub, with like piss and shit around him. So I took him to the vet, and they're like, "Yeah, he hasn't peed in like 3 weeks or some shit like that, and he's backed up, and he's got a massive." It was like $15,000+ to try to possibly save him. They didn't even know if they
Holy
could.
shit.
So like, as hard as it was, they're like, "It's that or put him down." And I was like, "Well, I'm afford $15,000 for my cat as much as I want to."
Right.
And then they're like, "All right, well then it's $600 to put him down." I was like, "Jesus, y'all are
Bro.
fucking how much to put him down?" And then like they're like, "Oh, this, that," and then they had this thing where you could like, they'd make a plaque with like his paw print in it. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll pay for that too." So it was like 7 something to put him down. Still haven't gotten that fucking plaque.
Oh my god.
And I know it's not going to happen now because by now he's probably cremated or whatever they do.
Yeah.
But I got
Now, do you feel like having pets like that helps with your
yes, because I don't do well with being. I don't like to go out, but I don't do well with being alone.
right.
She loves to go out, and I don't want to. I don't let my PTSD interfere with her.
Stop.
She likes to
Yeah.
go stuff, and I can't do. She likes that EDM music and stuff, and I can't do all that loud noises and
Yeah.
super packed crowds. That shit sets me off like no other.
Bro, we went to so my wife and I have been to a bunch of concerts in the last couple of years, and this last one, most of them I'm fine. Most of the time I'm fine.
Oh, shit, my phone's gonna die.
Oh shit, what do you got left?
3%.
All right, well we'll hurry up. So tell me what you got to tell me about your team and your airsoft experience. When did you start playing airsoft, and how did you get to your team now? And why did you name it Disturbing the Peace? Go.
So I started playing airsoft the first time. I think I was about 13. Me and my buddies, we all got airsoft guns and we're just plinking around in the backyard. And then his uncle, I think, had like a bit of property where he had some more friends come. So, it wasn't like at a field. It was just kind of a bunch of buddies in the backyard. And then when I got out of the military, for several years, I didn't, airsoft didn't even cross my mind. And then I was just scrolling through YouTube one day, and I can't remember. I think it was Kicking Mustang that I saw one of his sniper compilations, and I was like, you know what, that looks like fucking fun. And then I remembered airsoft. I was like, well, shit. So I hit Google, and sure as shit, there was a field like 5 minutes from where I live right now. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go there, and I went there, went to their store, bought a gun, and the biggest lie I think I've ever told my wife was, I just got to make this purchase one time, and then I'll be good. The first $400 purchase has now turned into probably the most expensive hobby I have. But
shit.
I got into the competitive side a couple years, maybe 2 years ago, or last season, I think, really. And fuck, I forgot the rest of the questions.
Let's see. So that's how you got into airsoft. Oh, and then you already talked about how you started the team and everything coming out of the other team. But why did you name it Disturbing the Peace? Or how did you come up? Who came up with the name, and how did you come up with it?
So I came up with the name. I've come up with every name that I've been on a team with. I've come up with a name. So the Florida Mafia, I came up with that because, just kicking ideas around, and everybody was like, yeah, that's great. And then when, the Florida Mafia fell apart, I wanted a name that was going to catch people's attention when they fucking hear it. And, that's exactly what we intend to do this next season when we come into places, is all these teams that are comfortable in their home fields and whatnot. We're there to disturb your peace and hopefully,
Shit.
hopefully take a fucking dub out. I'm not unrealistic to think we're going to go in and smash every. We're going to take it, but at least top 3 every time, and unsettle teams who think that they're top shit.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, like shake things up. You don't mind a little controvery, a little conflict, right?
Oh, I love conflict. I live for it.
I do too. Yep.
I was ex-infantry. That should tell you all you need to know. Well,
I mean, bro,
never
when somebody starts getting mad, like just in general, I sat there and smile. I'm like, what can what can I poke? What buttons can I push to make it worse?
I poke it while keeping a smile on my face. Just
yes,
how far I can drive them.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude.
Have you heard of the team? Man, I'm about to open a can of worms here.
Oh jeez.
Have you heard of the SPD?
SPD?
Yeah.
No.
So that's Hudson's old team. Okay, when they first started, like, I helped them out, did whatever I could for them, gave them tips, advice, all that jazz. Yeah. 2 of their players, which one of them was Hudson, and the other one I have on my team, his name's Voodoo, got tired of being on a team that would never show up to practice. They never communicated, none of that stuff. So they both reached out to me, hey, can we try out for your team, yada, yada. And I was like, I'm not going to say no, but you have to leave SPD first. I'm not even going to entertain the idea.
For sure.
Until you leave, because I don't want to be accused of poaching, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So they left the team. I brought him on. Well, I brought Voodoo on, and Hudson, there had been a little conflict with Hudson at that time, so I wasn't too keen on him at that point in time, you know what I mean? Just from she said bullshit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that unleashed the captain of that team. I'm not going to mention his name because
that's cool. Most
people who know that situation know who he was.
Right.
Blowing up on his story about how I'm a bitch and I poached his players and I'm the reason this team is falling apart. Because I made a post saying next year we're going to get a belt, and he's like telling them they're going to win a belt, so they'll leave my team and yada yada. I was like, if having a goal for having a belt is wrong, I guess I'm wrong. It is what it is, and I didn't reply to him. I sent a couple messages back, but for the most part, I just let them go on and on and on.
Right.
Because then people are going to see what's really going on here. And then Voodoo made a post like, counteracting everything he said. He made a video explaining why he had left the team, why he joined my team, all this.
Okay.
And then like that person made a post like apologizing to Voodoo and them, but like I'm still a bitch and it's all my fault. And I was like, or maybe you should look in the fucking mirror.
Yeah.
But after that, like it really got me into like I want to get a team together just to smash them. Which at championships, that's exactly what the fuck we did.
Yeah. No shit. So you guys took the took all that bullshit and
Then we
to
beat
their
them.
team.
Yeah, and then we beat them. I think they put up 180 points on the day, and then
Now,
like
what I don't know what that means. Like I don't know the relativity. What's how many points can you get?
I think the max in speed QB is like I'm gonna say 1,000 just to be safe. I don't necessarily know what the max is, but I haven't seen a team get over 1,000 yet. So, but I think
So they
we
only had 180 out of
a possible
way more than that. Okay.
we placed I think 9th or 8th, so it's not like we were gods, but we beat the one team we really wanted to beat.
Gotcha.
But I think we had like 500 points. But
Oh, okay.
just like
Yeah.
all the shit they had to say for them to put up that kind of performance.
Put your money where your mouth is, bro.
Exactly.
Back it up. And if you can't, hey, that's okay too. Like what we talked about when we first started. Losing is the agony of defeat can make people better, or it can break them. And sometimes those weak, shallow people, it breaks them. And then they try to. Sometimes it makes them where they want to step on, like push somebody else down to make themselves look better. And sometimes agony of defeat makes it where they want to get better. So, okay, I need to work on myself. I need to work on this. I need to practice, put the time in, put the work in, that kind of thing. But yeah, okay. So what do you guys got planned? So you got you're going to do CSL because you're in Florida. You're on the East Coast. You're going to do CSL tournaments this year. You're going to do basically as many tournaments as you can get to in your areas or whatever to get some good practice in.
Pretty much any event, major or minor, we're gonna there's a I don't know if you know Hefe, or I think that's how you say his name, Jeffy.
Hefe Airsoft. Yeah. It's Hefe, yeah.
They're hosting, or he's hosting a Speed QB event at Legion, which is where Hudson plays out of, with a $500 cash prize, all that stuff. So we're probably going to go up to that one. Just it's more practice, you know what I mean? That's really all we want. We want to.
Yeah, I just did a podcast with Hefe. Yeah, it just came out last week, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, me and him talk all the time.
Okay. Yeah, cool dude. Hell yeah. Awesome, man. Well, dude, thank you so much, dude. This was really spur of the moment because we planned this a couple weeks ago, and then with your work schedule and whatever, it kind of got put on the back burner. And today you texted me after the Huddy one came out, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I got time. What can you do it today? And you're like, hell yeah. So
as long as it's not after my bedtime.
Well, you can go pass out right after this, bro. Your phone's gonna die, and you're gonna die. Okay, that's it.
Go cook some steaks for my wife and kid, and then I'm going to bed.
Fuck yeah, man. Oh, it was great meeting you, bro. Thank you so much for getting on.
Of course, I'm definitely gonna have to get on another one of these.
For sure.
Wait,
no way. Your phone's gonna die. You better hurry up.
I just put it.
Rip it open. Let's see what we got.
You give me a knife. Wait.
There you go. Yeah,
Man,
Leatherman has a knife.
Gerbers were the funnest shit ever in basic, man. I learned how to get mine to snap open and shit. Oh, finally.
There you go.
Oh, I've been waiting on this. Thank you, baby.
Now this is the one you talked about earlier that you bought from a friend of yours. Is that right?
Oh. I don't know if their team is. I don't know if that team is still a team or not, but it was the captain and/or former captain of DSK. which is
Oh,
dirty.
I don't know. Okay. Dirty what?
Anyway,
What's the name of it?
DSK. Oh wow, he sent me a bunch of his patches too.
Oh, what's DSK stand for?
Dirty South Killers.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, he sent me a bunch of patches.
What's that fucking song? I just
Speed QB
in the dirty South.
sent me a
Okay.
bunch of QB stickers too.
Nice, nice.
Ah, finally. Now what we've all been waiting for. Hang on, let me get this in better lighting.
Yeah.
Let's flip the camera around here.
There you go.
Everybody who is listening and or may be listening to this in the future, I have been waiting for this for hours today like a crack kid.
You fucking drug addict. Look at you. Airsoft drug addict. Dude, that looks awesome. Who did the paint job?
I'm not sure. I'll ask him.
That is fucking awesome. What is that connector at the bottom? Is that the HPA connector?
Yeah, it's an ESG grip.
Damn.
You know what? Let me go get my tank real quick.
That thing looks awesome, dude.
She's so pretty.
Man, that is nice.
Hang on, I got a tank here. Let's see if we can make some magic happen. See, now that it's here, my sleepiness has gone away.
Oh, Jesus. You're going to be tired as fuck when you get up in the morning for your work.
You are not kidding. All right. Oh, yeah, that's where the battery goes. Oh, he even included... Damn, he hooked it up. He even included batteries.
What?
What a solid...
Damn, those are tiny. So what kind of batteries are those? Just for the trigger mechanism, right?
So
Like the trigger board?
Yeah, these are 7.4s, but they're only really to power the FCU.
Gotcha.
Oh, fuck. I need... Well, maybe not.
You don't fucking know. Look at you.
I don't know. I don't have a... what do you call it? Allen wrench to open the goddamn thing right now.
That's okay.
But at least it's here.
So when is your first tournament?
So I'm hoping to get into the February NSL event at CIA Tampa.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've already submitted a request.
Gotcha.
You know, to get on. You know, I don't know. At first, you were able to buy slots, but I think so many people or teams try to that now they're going to do a live draw.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
Well, what I'm thinking is, dude, that looks so cool,
Purple too.
bro. That is a cool ass build.
Sick.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is after your first tournament, have you on again, and you can show that off. You know, with all your shit on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
You're so excited. I love it.
It's like Christmas, man. Look, I know it's bad to say, but it's like an addiction for me. Just like
it's not
getting
bad.
Field and finally getting on the field and getting to use it. Oh, and my tracer matches.
Bro, holy shit. There's nothing bad about that. You got, you know, you're looking forward to something. It's making, it creates this anticipation and excitement and energy that's positive. There's nothing bad about that at all, you know?
No, you see,
it's all good.
I probably look like a completely different person right now.
Yeah, totally different person. Bro, and you got your gun. You got steaks you're going to cook. You're going to go eat, okay? You got your wife over here.
Tomorrow Thursday, but it's Friday for me because I'm on vacation.
There you go.
Is
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I finally took some. I have vacation time built up, and I was like, fuck, I never use it. I might as well, I'm not doing anything. I might go to CIA and practice Friday and Saturday, you know what I mean? But fucking sweet.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool. Good deal.
Sick.
Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you, man. It's been awesome. I don't want your phone to cut out before we can say goodbye. So,
no, all good. I have it on the charger, so it charges.
Okay, good.
We're good. Yeah,
Well, what?
it's been a pleasure. Everybody who might listen to this, thanks for watching.
Yeah, give some shout outs if you want,
Def,
or whatever you want to,
I,
end it with, and then let everybody know where they can find you too.
definitely. So, I just want to shout out my team. DTP Airsoft. You can find us on Instagram at DTP Airsoft. My personal Instagram handle is DTP Frosty. Um, the picture, I'm just in a purple jersey, so actually, it's this one hanging up on my wall while we're talking. It's first ever DTP jersey, but we've got new ones coming in, so it's retired.
Oh shit!
But we
Is
got
it gonna be the
these.
same color scheme?
No, it's actually. I'll send you a picture on Instagram or on just so you can kind of see it.
Okay.
Our new jerseys, but we got these made up. I shit you not, from Amazon.
Yeah.
And they got them here in time for the championships, which is what we wanted them for.
Gotcha.
You know, shout out to HSA. I absolutely love those guys. Kappa Dog, he's a great person. Love him.
Yes.
Shout out to CIA Tampa. They do a lot for us. From letting us practice there. They don't have to let us practice there. They always take care of us. So just shout out to the Speedsoft community and Airsoft community in general, man. It's
Hell yeah.
the whole vibe.
I love it, bro. Well, I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you for having me on.
All right, brother. Peace.